Things are different now. Our shared disruption and time for reflection, grounding our perspective. Rapid acceleration of trends, long underway, is where we now stand. Customer experiences and digital experiences merging to become one across every market, deep and wide. Digital interactions are now the primary way, if not the only way, customers engage. Here we are, standing at the edge of our new reality. Digital transformation isn't a choice anymore. Your customers demand it. Own this day. Experiment and explore with tools that are open, flexible, intelligent, and stable. Our expertise and open platform are designed to allow builders to say, what if? What can be? The journey ahead may be unknown, but this much we know. Seize this opportunity. Meet your customers where they are, and you will build a bridge to the future. For organizations around the world and the customers they serve, this is the path forward.
Hello and welcome to the latest in our Experience Acquia virtual event series. My name is Mark Jeffries, on the road at the moment, but delighted to return as your host and moderator for this essential series. During this event, we'll discuss how to unlock your digital power and share more on the rise of low-code solutions and the emergence of new technologies like the CDP and how they enable teams, your teams, to take control and drive successful projects from start to finish. Today, you're going to hear from a panel of customers, including James Avery Jewelry and Capita, on how they utilize Acquia tools to empower their teams to take the wheel and bring brilliant ideas to life. But you know, this is not just a one-way street. Be a part of the conversation. We want to hear about your challenges, your experiences. So don't forget to post, tweet, and share throughout using our hashtag Experience Acquia. And be sure to utilize the chat feature as well. We want to hear your thoughts and opinions too. We'll be revealing poll questions throughout the program. How do you access these polling questions, you may ask? Well, it's pretty simple. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the chat window. At the top, you'll see two little icons. One of them is a check mark. If you click the check mark, you'll see the most current polling question. And if you're joining us on LinkedIn, just post your answer in the chat and our team members will collect them. If you have a question, you can submit them in the box below the live stream window or in the chat at any time. All right, kicking us off today with a glimpse at how Acquia products empower your teams to own their projects from start to finish. I'm delighted to welcome the CMO at Acquia, Lynn Capozzi.
Thanks, Mark. Welcome to Unlocking Your Digital Power. You know, for too long, marketing and IT leaders have worked on totally separate islands. Marketers were always seen as the dreamers, responsible for building the brand and crafting memorable experiences for customers. Meanwhile, over here, technical architects and developers were the doers. We recently conducted a survey of 100 marketers who agreed that new tools like low-code tools empower marketers to work faster and boost IT innovation, allowing them to deliver new experiences quickly with a complete view of their customers' wants, needs, and preferences. Everyone's interested in the low or no-code tools. These tools and innovations help marketers unlock their digital power. So let's dig into the data. But first, if you think about it, in the past year, if it has taught us nothing else, it's that the only constant is change. As you can see from this data point, 94% of organizations have changed their digital CX strategy over the past 18 months. But look, there's blue skies ahead, even though there are challenges. Despite all of these challenges, the one thing that's been a constant is that digital is here to stay, for good. I want to talk to you about one company who I think is doing a tremendous job on the digital front. They've reaped the benefits of being digital first. It's King Arthur Baking Company. They formerly were called King Arthur Flour, but they went through a rebranding effort over the past year. They started with a very strong digital foundation. They had it in place before. They're a 230-year-old New England company, and they embraced the digital rush that happened at the beginning of the pandemic. We saw many other brands reap the benefits as well, but King Arthur Baking did a great job. What did they do? They were able to provide value add to their customers. They put recipes on their site. They had baking shows on their site. They were able to provide a hotline. You could call, you could email, you could Slack if you're in a baking crisis and you wanted help. And look at the results that they had. 200% increase in e-commerce, 260% increase, 2.5 million. The results are just unbelievable. They did a tremendous job. Many other organizations did as well. Another example is NBC Sports. Powered by Acquia, they were able to show the Olympics on an unparalleled scale. The state of New York, who was able to keep up with their constituents with their digital properties, informing them throughout the entire pandemic, sometimes multiple times per day, updating them to the status and what was happening. They've all done a tremendous job. But you know what? It's not always as easy as it seems. Our annual CX survey showed that despite the need to move quickly and make changes to deliver this top-notch customer experience, marketing decision makers are being held back by the MarTech that their organization is using. So 73% of marketers admitted that their MarTech stack was holding them back. So how can we help solve this problem? In today's challenging environment, marketers have to move beyond mediocre. We need to create the most groundbreaking digital experiences imaginable. We need to be empowered. Empowered marketers can go from concept to reality quickly, helping their organization maintain its competitive advantage, win new customers, and maintain brand loyalty with their existing customers. Simply put, marketers can make magic happen when they have the latest tools and technology and overall understanding of their customers. Let's talk about how to make that happen. Most marketers are still dependent on their organization's software developers to take those bold ideas and translate them into new applications or campaigns. According to our recent survey of these 100 marketers, this was the case. 89% of marketers rely on developers or IT to build digital customer experiences today. What's the problem with this? Well, first, let me ask you. Let's take a poll. Let's get your hands on the keyboard. You can see the question on the right-hand side of your screen. Is this true for your marketing teams as well? Are you very reliant on IT and developers? I'll give you a minute to answer the question. We'll be discussing the poll results in the Q&A at the end. But not only is marketing too reliant on their development team, but all of the requests and dependencies can result in a major delay of making ideas a reality. So bringing new digital experiences to customers. 58% of marketers reported it takes more than a week. 30% say it takes more than a month. A month! That's an enormous amount of time in today's digital world. Most of the delay is caused by marketers' reliance on developers and IT to build the experiences, or even to make iterative changes to existing experiences. And let's be honest, this is not the work that developers want to do. They want to work on infrastructure. They want to work on larger projects that impact the entire business. Developers don't really want to create bottlenecks, and marketers want to be able to control from end-to-end creation of digital experiences that they can design. They want to be empowered. They want to be hands-on to make sure that they control the experiences. And low-code, no-code tools make this all happen. So 82% of marketers want to be able to build digital experiences with tools that don't require programming skills. The low-code movement means that more of your team can act as citizen developers by using self-service tools, and your IT resources can refocus on more advanced projects. An example of this is the Acquia product, Site Studio. Site Studio provides a low-code tool so that a marketer can build pages, they can create pages, they can edit pages, they can create campaigns. And so Site Studio allows a greater result, a better result and experience for digital experience created by a modern marketing team. And the team that is really empowered to deliver their vision faster and more efficiently than ever before. An example of a great brand using Site Studio is Close Brothers. They're a leading global financial institution. They used Acquia Site Studio to empower their marketers to manage their web properties without constant redevelopment and without need from the development team or from IT. Site Studio allowed Close Brothers to have a master website design studio that they could use to have a common set of interactive elements for all of their sites. This includes base styles, responsive behaviors, typographies, design patterns. The low-code technology helped Close Brothers roll out 5 sites in a single year. Every single site met the bank's technical standards, security standards, compliance checks, and was acceptable to the marketers because it continued to have their brand and all of their brand elements. It's a great example of using Site Studio and empowering marketers to meet their business requirements. Speed and efficiency is half the battle when it comes to delivering a superior customer experience. Even if marketers can get their campaigns or experiences up and running quickly, today's consumers have an extremely high standard when it comes to customer experience. The bar has been raised. We all want to have that same experience that we have with Netflix. I don't care if you're talking B2B or B2C. We all have that experience and the bar raised for us. So marketers must also have a holistic understanding of each customer and their preferences in order to build the most compelling experiences. To get this right, you really need a single view of each customer. Fully 50% of 800 marketers that were surveyed said their organization has adopted a customer data platform, or a CDP, within the last 18 months. The customer data platform is the way to get this single view of your customer and prospects. Is it a coincidence that CDP installation has exploded in the past 18 months? I don't think so, because everything has gone digital. And more, we need to make sure that we're keeping track of a single view of a customer so that we know what's happening. Because really what you want to do is to figure out what's that next best action, and the CDP helps you to get there. So the marketers told us 74% of marketers that are using a CDP says it's given them more insight that they didn't have before, and a better brand experience and better access and better results on their campaigns. Over the globe, 39% of marketers who reported that they aren't currently using machine learning capabilities in the CDP say they plan to implement it in the next year. So something to think about and something to look at if you're not yet looking at a CDP. Marketers are using their CDPs along with powerful new machine learning algorithms to get the info that they need. The Acquia customer data platform has been a leading force in the space for over 16 years because it's the only vendor, and we are the only vendor, to offer an open, data-driven marketing cloud with Acquia customer data platform at its core. Top brands are using the Acquia CDP, such as Lids, Godiva, Arslike. They all rely on Acquia CDP to drive business revenue by boosting customer lifetime value. A great example of this would be Lululemon. They first engaged with Acquia because they had a very disconnected business. They had their stores and they had their online business, and the two were not connected. They had dozens and dozens of source systems where data was isolated and difficult for marketers to access and understand. Bringing everything together in a single customer profile enabled Lululemon to orchestrate the way they engage with their customers, whether that be in store, in a yoga workshop, online in a yoga workshop, in stores, on their site, or within community events. As a result, they've attributed a 15% revenue increase, a 50% increase in website visits, and a 25% increase in event participation, all thanks to the Acquia Marketing Cloud. Well, let me ask you another poll question. Back to the keyboard. Is incorporating a CDP, or customer data platform, part of your digital strategy? I'll give you a minute to answer this. We'll be discussing the results during the Q&A. Empowering marketers to update and launch content quickly means no more waiting around to push updates through IT bottlenecks. It doesn't have to happen that way anymore. And more importantly, by freeing up developers from tactical but important tasks like placing images or publishing blog posts, IT leaders can dedicate their time to more meaningful, impactful improvements that propel digital transformation through the entire business. So marketers are now empowered to be able to make those changes directly at their fingertips. It's a win-win for the whole business. We've talked a lot today about the tools that empower marketers and how to be successful with their digital deployments. But I thought, what better way to showcase these tools than having two of our customers share their experiences using both Acquia Site Studio and Acquia CDP. Before I toss it over to our host, Mark, for some formal introductions, I did want to mention one thing, and that's our upcoming Acquia Engage conference. The conference this year is 100% digital. It's October 26th through the 27th. So come and join us. You'll hear a lot of great examples from other wonderful brands and clients that are using the Acquia product line. You'll even get a sneak peek into NBC Sports on how they did the Olympics. So come and join the thousands that'll be with us October 26th and 27th. And now back to you, Mark.
Lynn, thank you so much. Amazing to see how Acquia is able to help teams take ownership of their projects and achieve success. All right, next up, let's dive a little bit deeper into some of these ideas and how they contribute to success in this most unpredictable of worlds. We have an informed panel, and I'm delighted to introduce two guests. Ronnie Hodges is Director of E-commerce and Direct Marketing with James Avery Artisan Jewelry, and Becky Moran, Senior Product Owner of Capita. Welcome to both of you. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Mark.
Hello.
So can we just start with some brief intros? I always like to learn a little bit more before we get into the questions. Tell me a bit more about yourself and your organization. So Ronnie, I'll start with you.
So I'm Ronnie Hodges. I'm been with James Avery Artisan Jewelry for 12 years, and prior to that was with Pier 1 Imports. James Avery Artisan Jewelry is a great brand. We have 100 stores. We manufacture, craft all our own jewelry here in Texas. We're officed in Kerrville, Texas, and in Austin, Texas. It's a great family brand that's been around for 60 years.
That's amazing. Is your customer base US or global?
It's US. We do get some from UK, but we don't market to it. But
Got it. Understood. Well, thank you. Thanks for your time today. Becky, tell me a bit more about you and your organization.
Yeah, hello. I'm Becky Moran, Senior Product Owner at Capita. I've been at Capita coming up 4 years now, and I head up the product team for the website and the web estate. And Capita are a UK-based company. They're a large company, B2B, and we're a UK-based audience, but we work with everything from the government to smaller private sector clients.
And Becky, I have to say, it's a delight to hear your accent, because I'm also from the northwest of England, but it's been a while since I've heard a good Manchester accent. So thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah.
So
No
let's
worries.
get into this. We heard Lynn share the findings from a recent survey. And an interesting stat she shared was 82% of marketers want to build digital experiences with tools that don't require programming skills. So I wanted to ask, is this true for your organizations? Do your teams want more independence? Becky, I'll start with you.
Programming skills and coding is always useful to learn and very interesting. I've done so myself, but I think that teams don't need to. So they can. There's a plethora of tools out there that you can use that they're empowered to use themselves. So things like WordPress, Drupal, low-code solutions, where to be honest, you don't really need to touch a line of code anymore. It's always handy to know, but it's not an essential like it once was.
Right, that's good to hear. Ronnie, same story from you?
We definitely enjoy the ability to get away from coding. I mean, it's a reality in our world, so I've always made sure that we have someone on our team that can handle that. But breaking away from that and opening up the creativity to other members of the team and other members in the company has been wonderful. It's
right. It's
important
quite empowering, isn't it?
Yes.
And Becky, we also learned that I think the number is 89% of marketers rely on IT or developers to build their digital customer experiences. So despite the fact that we can do so much more on our own, the current reality seems to be we're still relying on IT. How true is that for you? Tell me a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely was Capita even a year ago. So when I first joined, if we had a campaign to launch, the way that our website was built, it was very templated. And we needed to go to an agency and get them to cost up a whole new landing page. There'd be lots of time in meetings, lots of thousands of pounds. But now, look, like, I'm really glad to say that we've recently got the Acquia Site Studio tool on, which is a low-code solution. And that's sped things up massively. So we're now not fixed to fixed templates, and we don't need developers the same way that we used to. So we do have a really good development team, but it's sort of opened up the door to us to be a lot more creative and flexible in our approach to our campaigns now.
I want to talk to you about low code, but before I do, just take us back a tiny bit. What was behind the decision? What was behind you going out there and researching what else was available, given that, as you just said, you have a great, design and IT team?
Yes, there's a few things with us. I initially inherited an estate of 80 websites, which was a nightmare to manage. And we've been working very hard over the last 2 years to reduce it down to a single platform. So from 80 to one, really, which again is Acquia Site Factory. So Site Studio was the next natural solution for us, already being in Site Factory. It was an add-on that we got. I've been really happy with it. I can't imagine us being able to work at the same pace that we are today if we didn't have Site Studio. We'd be back to sort of 6 weeks, 8 weeks with an agency developing a landing page, which just wasn't efficient for us.
So already there's advantages. And just a follow-up on the low-code solution, how would you say it's empowering your team and helping them deliver digital experiences faster?
Yeah, so we got Site Studio, the low-code solution, in at the start of this year, and we've been piloting it within our digital team. So our digital team have had training and access to it. So that's really helped speed things up just with that small cohort of people having access. But we're actually in the process of rolling that out more widely across the wider marketing team. So, for example, when there's a press release, it needs to go, it can be very time sensitive. The way the old site worked, it just didn't allow anybody to have access and be able to add a new piece of content very quickly. So I'm excited to get the rest of the team trained onto Site Studio and onboarded, because then when we've got that sort of 2-hour deadline, they can turn it around and they're not relying on the bottleneck that sometimes is my team, unfortunately.
Of course. Well, it's great. It's a time
We're quite a
saver.
small
It's obviously
team.
a
That's
money
why we're a
saver as well.
bottleneck.
Right, of course. Ronnie, we also heard Lynn share that 74% of marketers using a CDP say it's really given them insight that spurred the creation of new digital marketing experiences or indeed campaigns. I know that you're using the Acquia CDP at your organization. So how true has this been for you?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. We went live with Acquia CDP almost a year ago in the first phases. We started getting real-time data that we've always wanted, and we're able to use it from a multi-channel environment. Over 80% of our sales are from retail stores. So we're missing that in a lot of our analysis. So we were able to get that and also get members of our marketing team that had never been in any of our data to really get in there and start reviewing product data and analysis of other email campaigns. So it was so much creativity going on that we had to really take a step back and make sure our KPIs and our activities were in line. And Acquia helped us out with a CDP success plan, and we've been working on that, and that's really helped us focus all these great ideas to make sure that we're marching toward some really key measures that we can impact.
What was I'd be interested your experience with the success plan. What was it about the success plan, the way it was put together for you, that made so much sense and that's actually working right now?
It was really just the framework and the discussion. We have weekly discussions with the Acquia team, and we already had KPIs, but when we start looking at how to take a one-time customer to a two-time customer, what are the different ways that we can can measure that and impact that, and just really setting that up and making sure that the Acquia team and the James Avery team are in sync on what those goals are and what the plan is to move forward to hit those numbers and hit
Got
those
it.
objectives.
And out of interest, how were you collecting customer data before the CDP?
It was very siloed. In some of those silos, the data was sitting in were locked, and some of them were incomplete. Again, I go back to just take social, for instance. I think one of our big wins has been moving social advertising in-house and utilizing CDP for creating audiences and doing analysis. Um, we never had that data. If we got something back from Facebook, it was through GA, Google Analytics, and it was online only sales, and we didn't know what the incremental benefit of those ads were. So as we move over to the CDP, now we're seeing, wow, these numbers even look better, and the incremental numbers are great. So we're continuing to feed that budget.
Absolutely. There was darkness and now there's light. You can see it's fantastic.
Yeah,
One more question on the CDP. Look, the last 18 months, everything changed, of course, and the amount of business being done online has just boomed. I'm interested to know how the CDP helped you navigate that, because from all those stores that I'm guessing had to close for a short while to an online boom, tell me how that particular CDP helped.
Well, it's the timing of our implementation is extremely interesting because our stores did close for a period of time, and our online sales just skyrocketed, right? And even when it came back, the stores came back, everyone was curbside and buy online, pick up in store. So we're still going through the website. But during that rough time where we had to furlough manufacturing because they're manufacturing, you can't be in the same room. The only project that stayed on the books was a CDP project, and my take on that and the CIO's take on that is, when we come out of this, we need all this data together so we could hit the ground running, and fight to get these sales continuing, because there's no guarantee they would do that. So I'm very proud that we were able to do that during that time. And since then, we've also had, we wanted to take advantage of that, and we also were, because of our tight sales, even though we outperformed any sales prediction we had, is we had very, very tight advertising budgets. And so we needed to trim and make sure that we were spending money where it needed to be spent. And CDP allowed us to do that in the last 8 months.
That's good.
Yes.
Lots of upsides. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Becky, I'm going to ask you one additional question. You painted the picture of so much more efficiency now, so much more speed. I want to know what's next for you. Whenever you realize you have so much more capability with the right software and the right teams, you obviously suddenly start to think, wow, what else can we actually do? So I'm interested to know, from the Capita side, what might be next for you?
Yeah, well, we've actually just started a whole new project with the website, where we're completely overhauling it from a UX point of view. We want to make it the best user experience we possibly can. So that's our new product vision. And really just push the boundaries. I think now that sort of the technology is almost sorted, we're not having to worry about that day to day. We can really focus on the customer experience and making sure that, from the first click on the website right through to the end, that they're having the best possible customer experience.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with that. And our time is almost up, but we always like to end with, a bit of a fun question. And we just wrapped up the Tokyo Olympics, and I think everyone knows now Acquia powered that website, which is amazing. Which sport is my question? Which sport were you most addicted to watching? Or at least if there was one particular element that you and the family like to watch, I want to know what it was. I'll start. So we have an 8-year-old, Skylar, and she's obsessed with doing cartwheels. I mean, in fact, her only form of motion is cartwheels. She doesn't walk anymore; it's just cartwheels. So clearly, it was gymnastics in our house. Ronnie, what about you?
Track and field. I really enjoy the individual competitions,
Yeah.
and is seeing each of those unique, the hammer throw and the high jump. You go from hammer throw, these massive people, to the high jump where they're not massive people, just tall, slender, great athletes. And to bring it back to the CDP part, and personalization, I was able to watch track and field because there was a track and field channel. That's all they had. I didn't have to watch the primetime feed that had nothing but what you would expect to see.
The beauty of personalization, absolutely.
Yes.
And Becky, what about you?
So similar to the gymnastics, but diving, and not for the same reasons as you, because I cannot do any kind of gymnastics. It's the synchronized men's diving was just incredible just to watch it. So Tom Daly's the UK, he got gold in the UK, so I'm very proud of him. But it's all over in 10 seconds, and it's just amazing.
Right.
Like watching what they do in those 10 seconds. It's incredible.
I can't. I can't watch that because I'm so worried they're going to bang their heads.
I know when they do it on the handstand and jump backwards, yes, it's a bit terrifying. But the amount of practice that goes into those 10 seconds is just awe-inspiring. So no, I really enjoyed the diving.
Becky, Ronnie, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing with us what's going on in your businesses. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Becky. I'll stop by and visit you.
All right, let's move on. So, next up, sharing the latest on our recent product enhancements and how those developments can help further elevate your success. I'm now going to hand it over to the Senior Vice President of Product Marketing at Acquia, Kevin Cochran.
Well, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lynn, and thank you to our fantastic customer panel. It's always so exciting to hear amazing customer success stories and to learn about all of the power that we now enable marketers with to drive their digital future with Site Studio and CDP. I'm Kevin Cochran, Senior Vice President of Product Marketing here at Acquia, and I'm very excited to share with you how we are doubling down on empowering marketers to deliver the world's most ambitious digital experiences with a range of new innovations across both our Drupal Cloud and Marketing Cloud. And here at Acquia, we're not only driving innovations today to help you become a digital leader, but more importantly, we're innovating for the future. When we look at our roadmap, when we look at innovations, we are focused on what it takes to make marketers successful today, and more importantly, what is it that we are going to need to develop now in order to take you 10 years into the future? And what we know from talking to CMOs around the globe is that there will ever be more and more need for new and compelling content to fuel that online researcher's journey. Our goal is to make it easier than ever for more people in the marketing organization to become storytellers and to deliver the right content to the right person at the right time and the right channel. We also know that as we live this new digital first life, that marketers need to be in control of delivering more and more digital services, digital applications to drive one-on-one customer engagement. And we know that marketers need to deliver this content and deliver these services by leveraging deep data insights to understand what it is that the customer needs in the moment. Democratizing data, empowering marketers to understand their customers at an individual level is the golden opportunity for each and every one of us with CDP. And more importantly, as we also live this new digital life, we also understand that each digital touch point also has an opportunity or risk. And our most important priority is to build consumer trust in your brand, protect their data, protect their privacy, and ensure that every digital experience is not only meaningful, but secure. This is the power of the Acquia composable enterprise platform, the Acquia Open DXP, enabling digital marketers with low-code, no-code tools like Site Studio to leverage the power of data with our CDP to deliver the world's most secure, most ambitious, most personalized and engaging digital experiences. We want to bring together the power of content, the power of data, and orchestrate that individualized journey that makes your customer feel connected and makes your customer loyal to your brand. This is, again, the power of the innovation that we're releasing today and in the future across the Acquia Drupal Cloud and Marketing Cloud. So again, I'm very excited to share with you innovations, so let's begin. Let's first start with innovations in our Marketing Cloud. As we heard from Lynn, the Acquia CDP is the future of enterprise digital marketing. And in order to ensure that every marketer is able to access the insights that they need, we want to make it simple. We want to make it easy. We want to make it intuitive. So anyone that you onboard in your team day one can leverage the power of our machine learning in order to drive the most effective digital campaigns. How do we do this? Fundamentally, we've reinvented the entire user experience to make it state-of-the-art, to make it simple, and to make it the easiest user experience for digital marketers on the planet. Moreover, we've unified that across our entire application stack. So every different team within your marketing organization, the marketing operations team, the demand gen team, the digital team, the corporate communications team, everyone has one consistent look and feel. Everyone has one consistent set of dashboards in order to do their job. And again, if you want to take a look at it, it's very exciting for all of us here at Acquia. As preeminent users of our software ourselves, I can't tell you the productivity gains that we've had internally for people leveraging our brand new simplified user experience. But wait, there's more. Because as organizations seek to scale their digital operations globally, we understand you have multiple brands, you have multiple teams, you operate in multiple countries. But of course, you need to be able to orchestrate campaigns at a global scale, even if you're executing in local regions. And now, first of its kind in the market is the ability within Acquia Marketing Cloud to be able to templatize a campaign and to be able to roll out a campaign across different regions, across different teams, where it can be tailored for local execution, but centrally governed, centrally managed, all rolling up into one overall dashboard so you can understand the efficacy of your campaign at global scale. Again, first of its kind from Acquia Marketing Cloud, and something that empowers every team, no matter where they are in the world, to get the full power of Acquia CDP and Acquia Marketing Cloud. And of course, the power of Acquia Marketing Cloud is all governed by our advanced machine learning framework. And now, with our new unified user experience, we've made it easier than ever for marketers to access a library of pre-built models that they can just drag and drop and leverage in their campaigns. So now if a marketer needs to understand what's the next best experience, what's the next best content, what's the next best offer, what's the next best channel, when they're building out their campaign map, it's as easy as drag and drop to just drop in the machine learning model and let Acquia Marketing Cloud figure it out for you so that you are constantly optimizing your user experience with each and every touch point. And of course, this is all enabled by the advanced algorithms that we now provide as part of our machine learning framework. For the very first time, a first in the industry, we implement fuzzy clustering. Now, you might think as a marketer, what's fuzzy clustering? Well, the simple thing is, it's what we've needed for years. Too often, we've given prescribed paths to customers, and we've segmented them into individual segments. But as people, we have variations that we might be a male between the ages of 45 and 50 who also happens to be a runner, who also happens to be a travel enthusiast. We might exist in many segments at once. For the very first time, we enable marketers to discover the myriad of segments that a customer might participate in depending on how they're engaging with you. What this means is for the very first time, you can actually drive more effective campaigns with higher conversion rates depending on what the customer intent is at that given moment. Once again, first of its kind from Acquia Marketing Cloud, and for marketers everywhere, our goal is to train you on what fuzzy clustering is, because from an algorithm perspective, it's the best thing since sliced bread. And of course, this all doesn't matter if you can't understand the efficacy of your campaigns. And now for the very first time with our new unified Marketing Cloud experience, you have one global dashboard where you can actually gain performance reports on your campaign. How is our spend driving the greatest amount of revenue, given the fact that we're executing campaigns in multiple regions for multiple brands on multiple channels to multiple audiences? Now, for the very first time, once again, one integrated campaign dashboard report so that at a global glance, if you're a CMO, you understand the efficacy of your spend and can understand how you are driving the business. And lastly, as we noted, with all of this data and all of this power, the most important thing that we enable brands to do is to build that trust as they're engaging their customers. And so now with Acquia Marketing Cloud, privacy and compliance with new regulations like GDPR are now at the heart and soul of everything that we're doing from a marketing operations perspective. Now for the first time, you can execute a first-party data strategy, and you can leverage that data to drive not only customer engagement, but build brand trust, because consumer data protection and privacy is now at the core of the agenda. So that's all the amazing innovations in Marketing Cloud. Hopefully you all were able to catch up. Before we get into the innovations in Drupal Cloud, let's take a quick stop and let's actually go into our first of two polling questions. So the first polling question is the following. What is the #1 data priority for you to empower your marketing team? So now let's go into the next set of innovations, all of the incredible, empowering innovations for marketers in the world of content and digital experience in the world of Drupal Cloud. First and foremost, our first major innovation is our new Acquia CMS. Acquia CMS is now, for the very first time, the ability for every digital marketer within minutes to spin up an amazing, beautiful, world-class digital experience. Acquia CMS eliminates developer bottlenecks and enables any digital marketer to get up and running with a new world-class digital experience in a matter of seconds, minutes, and not days, weeks, and months. Acquia CMS, the world's leading agile CMS, now available as part of Acquia Drupal Cloud. As Lynn noted, Site Studio. Amazing innovations in Site Studio with our new visual page builder, along with access to a library of over 70 pre-built UI components. We actually surveyed all of our digital leader customers, and we understood all of their design patterns. And from all of that research, we basically pre-built for all of you a library of the world's best-in-class user experience components, so that you, from day one, can start assembling, again, the world's most ambitious digital experiences without having to go to a developer to basically build you all of the capabilities that you need. Visual Layout Builder, all of your pre-built components, you are ready to go from day one. We've also evolved the developer experience because as marketers take more control over the website, we want to make certain that we can empower developers to build new advanced digital capabilities to drive real business transactions and real business results. Our evolved digital experience for developers enable them with a 100% cloud-based integrated development environment so that developers can spin up a laptop in a Starbucks and within seconds have an entire environment where they can start coding, testing, and deploying new components for marketers to pick up in Site Studio and start delivering on every new digital initiative. First of its kind from Acquia Drupal Cloud, a brand new developer experience that is only matched in its simplicity and ease of use by our marketer experience. And of course, for any new digital experience that marketers are deploying, we want to make certain that we're able to deploy those at global scale and make sure that we deliver world-class performance so that every customer, wherever they are, on whatever device, has millisecond response time and has the best possible experience. This is the power of the new global platform for all Acquia sites, our new Acquia Cloud Next, a radical first-of-its-kind architecture to enable global availability and auto-scaling so that every single digital experience has the maximum performance, the maximum availability, and the maximum uptime to power all of your digital campaigns. And of course, when we're talking global scale, we also need to be cognizant that we need to also deliver digital experiences in other regions, most importantly, in China. New to Acquia Drupal Cloud is our new China managed service. So for all brands that are seeking to drive business behind the Great Firewall, we now have a first of its kind and only solution through our China managed service. We also want to make certain that all digital experiences are easily discoverable. In a world of content, we want to make certain that each end user, no matter who they are, can express their simplest intent and find the right piece of content they need to fuel their online journey. This is the power of our new Search v3, a best-in-class faceted search discovery tool to enable any end user simply and easily to find the right digital experience and the right digital content to fuel their online research journey. And last, and very near and dear to all of our hearts here at Acquia, all of the wonderful innovation we've unleashed across Marketing Cloud and Drupal Cloud to power the consumer experience, we've now packaged to support the employee experience. So that as individual employees are transitioning to a new hybrid work model and are becoming digital first in all of their workplaces, we want to make certain that we empower each and every employee to be connected to drive the online customer journey. Our new employee experience takes the full power of Acquia Marketing Cloud and Drupal Cloud to reinvent the employee portal and empower every employee with the tools and the content that they need to best serve the customer. So our last innovation in Drupal Cloud, again, probably my favorite, re-envisioning the digital workplace and bringing that consumer-like experience that we afford to all of you to the employee as well. And with that, we'll take a break for our last of two poll questions. And the poll question is this: what is your #1 content priority to empower your marketing team? Thank you very much, everyone. Again, Kevin Cochran, very excited to share with you the latest innovations, and thank you so much.
Kevin, thank you so much. Amazing to see all the product updates from the past quarter. Now, let's bring back Lynn and Kevin to look at some of the polling results and, of course, also answer some of the questions that you submitted in advance. Hi, guys. Let's get straight into it. We'll start with polling. Now, the first one, the question about marketers relying on IT and developers to actually build their digital customer experiences. Very high number agree that that is the situation. It's definitely the marketing reality out there for the majority of respondents. Lynn, what did you think about that?
You know, Mark, I'm really not surprised. I see many marketing teams still very dependent on IT and the developers for their site builds. However, what I am seeing, and I'm no exception to this because as a CMO, I have my own marketing team, CMOs are becoming a little less dependent and heavily reliant on IT. And they can focus, especially with low-code tools now, we can have IT focus on the infrastructure related activities, where marketers now can have these low-code tools in their own hands. So they can design pages, they can create content, they can do their own segmenting of customers and prospects for campaigns. So, still important to have IT, still important to be really in sync and have that tight connection between IT and marketing. But now we're no longer 100% reliant on IT.
And Lynn, it's a bit of a cultural shift, isn't it? Because we have been so reliant on IT over the years. Now these tools exist. It's a little bit of a leap, isn't it, to actually start using them and realizing there's so much we can handle ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, fantastic. Now, the next polling question, I'll stay with you, Lynn, was on incorporating a CDP as part of digital strategy. We got a kind of mixed response on this one. The audience was a little all over the board, some considering a CDP, some I can see they weren't sure. Again, what is your reaction to that?
Again, not surprised about the mixed response. We did a recent survey, and our information showed that about 50% of marketing groups over the past 18 months have adopted a customer data platform or CDP. Now, coincidence that that's tied together with the time of the pandemic? I don't think so. So what it means is as more and more people are going digital, it's more and more important for people to have access and know about their customers and about their prospects. So I think more and more people in organizations and industries will be looking towards a customer data platform. I mean, one of the biggest areas that we've seen for growth for using a customer data platform, for instance, is in retail, which really makes a lot of sense based on what's happened in the past year and a half or so. But lots of different industries are following suit. And I think we will see more and more because, again, these marketers are getting empowered and they're getting hungry to be able to touch their own customer data and segment it and so forth. So I think we'll see it more and more, Mark.
I think you're right. Very smart predictions. Lynn, for the moment, thank you. Kevin, let me turn to you. So the polling question was, what is your number one data priority to empower your marketing team? And from what I saw, the response was a toss-up, really, between giving a single view of the customer and having a single dashboard for campaign effectiveness across tools and channels. So my question to you really is, does this align with what you're hearing from the clients?
Yeah, and I think I might be able to explain kind of the bifurcation of those two poll results, because at the heart of it is democratizing access to data so that marketers can have the insights that they need in order to understand the customer, in order to understand how to best engage the customer. So the 360-degree view and that dashboard to show the effectiveness of the campaign, it's all predicated on democratizing access to insights for the marketers. Once they understand the customer through the CDP, once they're able to drive one-to-one engagement for the customer through the CDP, then they can see the results in the dashboard and they can understand the efficacy of their marketing efforts. So sorry for the live broadcast, but that's a word always a challenge for me.
That's right. We need a CDP for pronunciation on words like efficacy. That is hard. All right, so let me stick with you then, because that's really interesting. And it's, once you have access to all that information, all that data, the power is yours. But it's a bit like being a kid in a candy store. There's so much to choose from. You've got to be, I guess, quite disciplined in knowing what to look at, what to take advantage of. So with that in mind, what is your number one content priority to empower your marketing team? That was a polling question. And this one also showed a bit of a tie between eliminating bottlenecks for creating and publishing content and launching new campaigns, landing pages, microsites more quickly. There's just so much choice. Obviously, people want the freedom to own their tasks and projects. But again, I'm going to throw it to you now. What reactions have you had from your clients on how your products have helped them achieve this freedom and more?
Yeah, again, it doesn't surprise me that you have a bifurcation. And I think maybe we can put a little context to this. What marketers need is they, yes, need to remove bottlenecks. And yes, they need to move faster. But again, they need insights. And this is the power of leveraging a CDP and actually having machine learning be able to give you the recommendations for what type of content you need and who do you need to direct that content to. Because yes, you need to be empowered, as Lynn noted, with low-code tools to be able to create compelling content and experiences. And yes, you need to move faster, but you also need to do it in a smart way. What type of content? Who do you need to send it to? When do you need to send it? And this is, again, the power of machine learning through our CDP applied to content.
All right, there's just so much available now to marketers. Lynn, let's just talk about this low-code element for a bit. When you say marketers can use low-code tools, it sounds great, but my question to you is, realistically, how much of a learning curve is it? How much experience do they need to have?
Yeah, so they don't need experience, and I've seen this firsthand with our marketers or product marketers who are able to create and style new pages and new content without having anyone supporting behind them. So it really does give all that freedom and power to the marketers, and they don't need a lot of experience around it. We live and breathe that every day, as well as a lot of our customers that are doing it. So happy to say that there's no experience required.
That is good. I like that. And Kevin, obviously the journey is already underway, but as of now, how often do you see marketers actually using a digital asset management product?
Well, unfortunately, we've been living in a world with digital asset management products for like 20 years. And unfortunately, the majority of marketing teams are still to share content, share digital assets on Google Drive or on Dropbox. And we now need to, in this new digital world, need to come up with a new strategy and really commit to organizing our digital media and enabling our digital media to tell our brand story and enable our marketers through the use of low-code tools to be able to orchestrate the delivery of that story across different channels. Again, we've been living with digital asset management tools for 20 years, but I don't think marketing teams have ever really made truly effective use of them. And the benefit here at Acquia, leveraging our DAM, is now we can actually empower marketers to really tell that brand story in a simple, easy way using low-code tools.
All right, it makes so much sense. And Kevin, let me stay with you because, every time we do one of these Experience Acquia episodes, it's always great to see what the developments have been, but I always like a sneak preview as well. So for you, Kevin, then I'll ask Lynn, what's next on the Acquia roadmap?
Oh, stay tuned so much. We are just getting started on our journey of applying machine learning to optimize content, to optimize journeys, and to optimize digital experiences. Our roadmap is a rich roadmap. It starts with what we did this year in terms of combining content and data into one singular platform so that we can actually apply machine learning to enable marketers to orchestrate an omni-channel experience. And so you're going to be seeing a tremendous amount of innovation from us very soon in our roadmap. Really empowering marketers, not only with data, not only with insight, not only with amazing low-code tools, but with all of the machine learning models that they need to truly build the world's most ambitious digital experiences.
All right, it's a great plan. And Lynn, same question now from your perspective and your marketing world. What is next on the Acquia roadmap?
Well, lots of excitement coming up this fall. We have our Acquia Engage conference, October 26th and 27th. It'll be a virtual conference again this year with our customers and our partners, and people might want to come to join the other thousands of people that will be coming to hear about what's new in our product set, hear from a lot of great customers, and I'll give you just a little sneak peek. You might also hear how important Acquia was in terms of helping to support NBC Sports in showing the Olympics.
I know, I heard that and I saw that. Amazing. I will definitely be at that event, and you know that already. But for now, Lynn, Kevin, thank you both very much.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
And to you, our fabulous audience, thank you for attending today. We want to hear from you about future topics, how we can do better. Your thoughts and your opinions really do help shape what we put together for you. So please take our feedback survey as soon as you can. You'll see the link in the notifications tab on the left, and you'll also receive a convenient link via email. For completing the survey, we will send a gift from Sugar Wish straight to your door. How sweet is that? Now, if your question wasn't answered today, we'll be sure to follow up with you directly, so keep an eye out. Lastly, we want to invite you, as Lynn just mentioned, to join us for Acquia Engage. It is October 26th and 27th, and trust me, you do not want to miss it.